Florida State's 2023 football season already has sky-high expectations, but this team is going to make Florida State fans feel something that they haven't felt since Bobby Bowden was on the sidelines at Florida State. We'll talk about it next. Hey guys, thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for watching this video and thanks for hanging out with us today. Appreciate you guys and the love that you've shown over the last several weeks. It's really been phenomenal and it does mean a ton to me personally. This is a pretty personal video, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you're commenting down below. Appreciate those that have made the choice to subscribe, and always the thumbs up, the likes are great too. But I really would love to talk with you guys down in the comments about this one. There's a different feel around FSU right now, and I don't think it's something we've seen since Coach Bowden was here. I know we had some truly great times with Jimbo Fisher, but here's one thing. That 2013 team, that championship team, was talented. It was an elite run, but Jimbo never in his time here felt like Coach Bowden. He used his agent and he used openings at different colleges, namely LSU, to try and leverage against FSU and negotiate them into bad positions. And finally, he pushed way too hard and FSU let him walk, and he obviously left them in an absolute mess. But here's what I've noticed. Under Mike Norvell, that family feel at FSU seems to be back. We've talked about this before, but what did Bobby Bowden believe in? Well, he believed in three things, and he listed them often. He was also very specific about the way that he listed them. What were they? Faith, family, and football, in that order. Mike Norvell is bringing that back, and we're going to talk about that in a little more detail now. What's Mike's biggest thing that he does right now? He focuses on the things that are important. He's very faith-focused. He's very family-focused. And then obviously football comes in there as well. Mike lets his actions speak much louder than his words. He's not the kind of coach that has to rely on negative recruiting. This is right out of the Bobby Bowden playbook, the Bobby Bowden model. Let your actions speak louder than what other people are doing. And I think this is huge. What did people say when Bobby recruited him? He came into my house, was very genuine, was very real with my family, and that made all the difference. We've heard this from recruits. What's the number one thing recruits say when they're leaving campus in Tallahassee? I couldn't believe how real that staff with me, how genuine that staff was with me. We've talked about this before, but Alex Atkins coaches guys up even when they're on their recruiting visits, where other coaches may give them false promises and false hopes. Alex Atkins tells them what they can do to get better and what they can do to really shine and be at that next level. Again, that is straight out of the Bobby Bowden guide for how to be real with people and how to be genuine with people. It doesn't matter what other programs are doing. It doesn't matter what other schools are telling you. Being real with people is always at the forefront. And I believe that that comes from Bobby Bowden. He doesn't have to cuss kids out in the locker room or be just an absolute jerk over top of them. I think that the place of love that this coaching staff comes from is, again, similar to what Coach Bowden and his assistants were doing back in the day. He built a program around character, and that was massive for Bobby, and it's been huge for Norvell too. There have been times where Norvell hasn't recruited somebody as hard, or maybe hasn't brought people in because he knew what the character of that person was. And I think that's what's important. Getting guys in who fit that mold, fit that character, that love, that family atmosphere and vibe has been a huge selling point for Norvell, and it's going to continue to be. Cared about his players more than anything. Bobby cared about his players no matter who they were. He treated everybody like they were that five-star athlete at the top of the list. And Norvell has been huge about this. We've talked about it, but I've never seen a college coach share a player's transfer announcement and wish them well as they were exiting the program. Mike Norvell cares about his guys. We saw it with Trayshawn Ward. We saw it with other guys that were leaving the program. And I think that even when they're not a Seminole, he cares about what's best for them going forward. And that's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. Mike does a great job of focusing on the process more than the result. And this was something that Bobby preached as well. Where do you think Saban and these guys got this process word that we hear so much in college football? That was Bobby doing things the right way, day after day after day. It took Bobby so many years to finally get that first national championship, but that wasn't the big thing. Are we doing things the right way? Eventually, the results will take care of themselves. He gave kids a reason to come to Florida State. that was so much bigger than just football. It went into their life beyond. And that's what most of Bobby's former players have said. Yes, amazing football coach and a guy that prepared me for the NFL or whatever my next life was going to be immensely. But it went so much deeper than football. What people would say about Bobby was, I came here a boy and I left a man. And that is something that I think Norvell absolutely hits the nail on the head as he develops not only the football player, but the character of the individual as well. Culture first, winning follows. That was the mantra that I believe Bobby Bowden lived by, and that's where we are right now with Mike Norvell as well. Where are we in that process? Where are we in that culture turnaround, in that process that Bobby has laid forward and Mike seems to be following? We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but I do want to give some love to the Sheepdog Corporation. They're a brand new partner of ours, and if you've tuned out other ads or other things that I've said in the past, don't tune this one out. This is probably the most important partnership we have. The Sheepdog Corporation provides mental health counseling and PTSD treatment for active military, veterans, and first responders. They seek to eliminate the barriers and stigmas associated within these communities that surround mental health by offering a unique and unparalleled experience. We're going to talk about them a ton more in future weeks, future videos. But I want to tell you right now, you can support their mission and you can support what they're doing by clicking either the link above or down in the description. They're an important partner that I believe is doing great work in our active military and our veteran community. And everything they do goes back and gives to vets in need. They provide some services that are much cheaper than other corporations and other situations. And they're also able to help vets who can't sometimes afford some of these treatments. Give them a review today. Give them a look. It's the Sheepdog Corporation, and I'm super proud to partner with them. Again, link will be above and down in the description. What have we seen already from this team that mirrors some of those Bowden teams? We've watched them grow. Not often do you get to watch guys into their third and fourth and fifth year at a college program in today's game, but we've gotten to see that with some of the guys on this team. We've watched Jordan Travis, which we could do full-length videos on day after day after day, grow from a guy who couldn't even be trusted to throw the ball when he got here up until a guy that's going to compete for the Heisman Trophy next year. And so growth has been massive. We've seen that on the offensive line. We've seen that with Kalen DeLoach. We've seen that with other guys in this program that we're so proud of. And that is a hallmark trait of a Mike Norvell coach team and a Bobby Bowden coach team. We've watched Mike Norvell grow, and where he was when he got here just 2.5, 3 years ago compared to now is on a different level. We've watched the staff grow. Look at the upgrades that have been made with Pat Surtain and other guys coming in. Alex Atkins' growth has been phenomenal. That is a true sign of a Mike Norvell coach team and something I think you saw with Coach Bowden back in the day. We've seen this team battle back from adversity. Remember Bobby's teams? Think about what happened in 1992, where they missed the national championship because of a field goal. Think about what happened in 93, where they lost to Notre Dame, but still battled back to make the championship game and win it late. Think about 98, when they lost due to some injuries and didn't get it done in the national championship. They battled back in 99 and won it all. We've seen Mike Norvell teams battle back like nobody else. From an 0-4 start last year to games where they trailed against Florida and Oklahoma the last couple of games of this year. Battling back is a true trait of a Bobby Bowden coach team, and it's a big trait of a Mike Norvell coach team as well. What else is similar? Well, the offenses are both innovative and elite. You don't think about Bobby Bowden's teams without thinking about the fast break offense that he ran with Charlie Ward, or the absolute domination from the teams in the late 90s where the offense just could not be stopped. That's kind of what we're going to see in 2023. It was a big part of the success in 2022 as well. But I think the efficiency and the speed at which Jordan Travis leads the offense in 23 is going to mirror what we saw back then with Bobby as well. This team is going to take it to the next level that Bowden talked about when he talked about building programs. What did he say? He talked about losing big, losing small, and winning big. Where are we in that? Well, it doesn't always translate year over year as to happening 1 year at a time, but we might be to that point just right now. I think when you think about the winning big mentality, it doesn't mean you're going to blow out every single team on your schedule, but Florida State did its fair share of winning big this year. You think about the Boston College game, you think about the Miami game, the Syracuse game, and other games in that mix that Florida State just had their absolute way with their opponents. And that doesn't mean you're going to blow out all 12 teams on your schedule, but you're going to win big a lot of the times, and in those big games, you're going to win them. You're going to win the big games. And I think Florida State will step into that part of the rebuild this season. Florida State's looking to take that step that great Bowden teams took. And what did that start with? It started with winning the ACC and competing and winning big games nationally. If Florida State can do that, not only have they cemented that family culture that Bowden was about, they've also cemented that winning culture that Bowden was about. And that's the step that I think is going to make Florida State fans feel the most nostalgic that they've felt since Bobby Bowden roamed those sidelines. Let me know your thoughts. Do things feel different right now to you? What do you think about this team and its culture, the family feel that Mike Norvell is installing? To me, it's Bowden-esque. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comments. Let's talk below. And remember, thank you to our friends over at the Sheepdog Corporation and all those that have been supportive of this channel and these videos. I'm TJ Pittenger, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Go Noles.